In this video, we're going to talk about all the things you need to do to actually improve the way you work. Basically, how to stop procrastinating, how to be really productive, and how to get into the flow state where you just feel like everything is working out the way you want to. See, in life, normally everything either goes really well or everything goes to shit. Basically, there's no in between. In every area of life, it feels like always everything is bulking up and it's going really well or really bad. Okay? And the reason for that is the momentum. Basically, you build up momentum through doing things either right or wrong. And you either build good momentum or a bad one. Sometimes you just wake up, you're super hyped up, you know this day I'm gonna crush it. You're basically making a huge to-do list with all the things you need to do, and you actually do. You actually execute everything you needed to do, and basically you'll go to sleep very motivated, everything was great, you had a really good day, okay? And other days you have the exact opposite. When you basically start doing anything, you get distracted by Instagram, by YouTube, you don't really know even what you have to do. You know you need to do things, but you don't really have a clear plan of what you actually need to do, okay? And then you're just wandering around, not knowing which specific thing you have to do next, and even if you start, you just get distracted. First of all, I want to say that I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy who's going to be preaching on YouTube how to motivate yourself and basically be the self-help coach. I don't really want to do that because you basically see them all around. Everywhere you go on YouTube, you're going to see those topics. In this video, I genuinely just want to share what actually helped me personally to be more productive. I'm not going to repeat everything I saw on YouTube and put this in this video because there's so many good tips out there which I didn't implement and which didn't help me. However, here I'm only going to talk about the things which actually I use and really helped me personally out. Let's talk about momentum. Basically, there's short-term and long-term momentum. Let's start with short-term. What I mean by that is when you start the day and you actually start it really well, you feel like you're in the flow, you actually are super productive, and then when you're in that state, you're just gonna keep going like that. It's very easy to keep being in that state after you're already in it, okay? If you're very productive, there's a very high chance that the next couple of hours after the moment itself are also gonna be productive. Why? Because the momentum is on your side. You just started to get the ball rolling and now everything is easier. So let's talk about a couple of tricks I actually use to get into this flow state. The number one thing is a really well-structured and micro-organized to-do list. You have to have a to-do list which is very, very deep. Instead of having the point, for example, okay, I want to do product research today and I want to create a store today. If you have those 2 points, they seem like a lot. They seem that it's a really big task which you cannot really execute today, and it's just going to take so long until you get there, and also you don't really know what to do. Do product research, what does that mean? Does that mean to find one product? How long are you going to do it? Where you're going to do it? And you basically don't have a clear step-by-step plan when you look at that to-do list. So what you actually have to do is make a way more structured one. For example, step one, you go to a specific platform. Let's say you're going to do product research on AdSpy, and you have the goal of finding X amount of products which have at least like 7 criteria which you set for yourself. For example, you put yourself the goal to find 10 products with this, and this criteria, whatever it is for you, okay? That's more structured. And then for the store, you have to also go very in depth. Number one, find pictures. Number two, import the product to the store. Number three, make a GIF. Number four, think of the pricing. Number five, do the shipping. Whatever it is, you have to structure it out really properly, because then what's gonna happen is you're gonna be checking off your to-do list very quickly. Instead of having big points on your to-do list, make smaller ones, and then you feel more productive because you check it off, you check the next one off, you check the next one off, and everything is gonna be feeling much better to you. Because when you get into that flow of, okay, I did this, I did this, I did this, the fourth thing is gonna be much easier. And you have to understand that the start matters the most. When it comes to getting into this workflow, the beginning is the most important part which you have. You just have to have a couple of micro points which you check off to get into this better feeling. And with this better feeling, everything is going to be much easier. The next thing is more of a way of thinking, which is really important to actually be productive. There's basically two ways how you can approach life. Number one is passive, number two is active. If you actually approach life passively, everything is going to be very, very hard. If you do a task because you need to do it externally, meaning that other factors actually made you do this right now, everything is going to be way worse. For example, if you need to write an essay till whatever end date. And you'd have to do it in the very last day. It's gonna be the passive way of doing it because you basically pushed it till the last moment and now you do it. Instead of actively actually doing the tasks before you need to do them, you do them in the last second. And that's a big problem. The other really important thing here is basically not having distractions. And you've heard it a million times, but this actually helps. You don't need Instagram, you don't need YouTube, you don't need anything when you actually have this active work time. So put your phone away, put whatever away which is actually gonna distract you and make your life easier. Also, what helped me is not working from home. When I'm sitting at home, it's very hard for me to actually be super productive for whatever reason. I get distracted way easier and I basically wander around doing nothing instead of actually doing the things I need to do. So my solution in the beginning was basically going to like hotel lobbies and working for 8 hours straight in there, just getting a couple of coffees, getting food after a couple of hours, and then that's it. So it's totally normal. A lot of people are actually doing it, so don't feel weird about going somewhere to actually work there. And this helped me. I don't know if it's gonna help you, but for me it was a complete game changer and I was way more productive somewhere else than at home. I actually know a guy, whenever he has home office, he's going outside of his house, he's dressing up, he's making one round around his block, going again upstairs into his own apartment, and then he actually starts his workday. So I never tried that, but if that would help you, go for it, do it. Those things are really important because you just get into another state of mind when you go somewhere. At this point, we're having an office and we work inside of the office, which is even more helpful, but this is more advanced. The next thing you have to do is hyping yourself up in the morning. It's really important, if you don't have any motivation or discipline, to start making yourself motivated. Whatever it is, either it's watching a motivational video or it's gonna be you thinking of a scenario which can happen if you do things right. I don't know what's gonna motivate you, but think of something which is motivating you or listen to a person who's motivating you and actually listen to him in the morning and then try to do the things like you want to. Go into your day super motivated instead of basically starting to be motivated before you go to sleep, which normally happens. Whenever I have like an unproductive day, I'm super motivated at some point whenever I just want to go to sleep and it's just not productive, okay? So try to do that in the morning. The next thing you have to do is find out what type of person you are and find out if it's easier for you to work in a group or with people, or if it's easier for you to actually work by yourself. For me, I am more productive when I have people around me. So when I used to work in those hotel lobbies, I just had friends which are not even doing dropshipping. For example, one guy, he was just studying for university. I told him, hey, you want to do it with me together? You're going to study, I'm going to work. We're basically not even going to talk to each other, but that actually made me more productive because I just have a person next to me. Also, I was more productive when I was sitting in a place where everybody behind me could see my screen, because then I felt like I have this pressure of everybody looking at me and just seeing that I'm on the phone chilling on Instagram, or me actually being productive, which kind of looks cooler. It's stupid, but actually worked for me. So those were a couple of practical tips you can apply to get into a short-term momentum. But there's another thing, which is long-term momentum. So basically, if you do a thing every single day, it's gonna become easier to be productive long-term. So if you go to the gym for 3 weeks, it's obviously gonna be easier to go in the 4th week than it was in the 1st or in the 2nd one. That's pretty obvious and everybody knows this. However, you actually have to have the discipline to keep going with everything. Because the things I just told you, for example, doing the micromanagement, doing the little to-do lists, going to hotel lobbies, whatever, if I tell you that now, there's a high chance that you're actually gonna do it maybe tomorrow or the day after that, but there's an almost 100% chance that in 1 month you're gonna stop doing everything. And even earlier, probably in 1 or 2 weeks, you're not gonna have this micromanaged to-do list anymore. The problem here is that most people lack the discipline to actually keep going long-term with one thing they set for themselves. So now let's talk about a couple of things, how you can actually get this long-term discipline to get into a momentum of doing one thing for a long period of time. Number 1 is writing down the most important 3 things which you need to do in the next day in the day before. So before you go to sleep, you just write down 3 bullet points. Okay, what are the most important tasks I have to do tomorrow, which are gonna be most money making? So where can I make the most amount of money if I do them tomorrow? Obviously, this is applying to dropshipping. If you wanna do this outside, you can also do it. but which specific tasks are gonna make me the most amount of money the next day. So if you already have that, the day after you're gonna feel obligated to actually do them, and because you just did it before you go to sleep, you actually already in the morning kind of know what the purpose of the day is gonna be. And you actually have to think, if I only complete those 3 tasks, if I only do that the whole day, will it be a good or bad day? If it's gonna be a good day just because I did this, you're good. And normally it doesn't take more. You don't need to do like 10 or 20 things to have a good productive day. Normally it's just a couple of bigger things which you need to work on the whole day. Maybe it's only 1. Also, it's way easier to be disciplined when you know what to do. For example, it is easier to go to the gym consistently than actually building a business. A lot of people say that it's the same, but it's not. Because with building a business, you need to do so many different things where you don't really know exactly what you need to do. You go to the gym, you obviously clearly know what you need to do. You just do the exercises and you lose the weight or get bigger, whatever you want to do. So on the gym example, you have a clear strategy. On dropshipping or building a business, in a lot of the cases, you don't exactly know what you have to do. What is the next step is always the question, and you cannot always answer it. So you have 2 options. Either you think for yourself, make a plan by yourself and execute it and make it step by step, or you work with a person who knows what they're doing and they're gonna basically give you a plan. So what we're doing right now, so if you actually need help and if you think that you are not capable of doing a perfect plan, then what you can do is sign up for a free consultation session with me personally. It's going to be a one-on-one call with me, and we're going to talk about the next steps you actually have to do, and we're going to see if it's a good fit to work long-term together, and if it is, we're actually going to start, and if no, then no. So sign up for that, click the link below, and yeah, that's it for the video. Hopefully you actually execute the things I'm talking about here, and hopefully you also execute it long-term. Hopefully you do them not only once or twice, but for at least like a month or 2, so you get the habit, and then after that it's gonna be super easy. All right, take care and see you in the next video.